On the road to the state of Illinois, part one, with another week to follow for the Bucks. Alongside head coach Jim Tressel, I'm Jeff Hogan. Good to have you with us. And coach, if you're not going to play one of your best games of the season, I guess the important thing is you get a win and you get out of there.
Well, that's the number one thing, is to get that win. We knew it was going to be a tough one going over there. Illinois had been getting much, much better, and I thought we played a good first half and maybe a good part of the third quarter, and just kind of fell asleep at the switch there, and you can't do that when you're away from home.
And something about Champaign and the Bucks that uncorks the Illini, but you brought some added ammo this week. You brought one of the guys who's been there before for some of those close games, Mo Hall, in the mix.
Now, Mo Hall was the honorary captain. You know, if you recall, in that overtime win in 2002, he scored the winning touchdown, and you know, he's just one of those guys that understands how tough it is to play on the road, and did a good job.
Yeah, some close scares the last two trips there, and another one to follow, no question about it, as the Bucks take the field there. Memorial Stadium, pretty alive with a lot of scarlet and gray there. You get another travel bunch.
There's no question. We had a great crowd there, and they were fired up, and I thought we came out and played pretty well early and seized the tempo of the game. There you see Antonio Pittman hitting a good run for about 12 or 13, and we moved the football right down the field that first drive. Troy finds Brian Hartline on a third down conversion, and you know, we're moving the ball.
Yeah, great drive. 14 plays in all. It's going to cover 80 yards here, but you like the way it starts. Pittman rips off another one 8 yards up the middle on a 1st and 10 play.
We had a good blend of run and pass, and as we moved down there, Troy did a little option fade route there and get the ball down near the 10-yard line, and things are working on all cylinders.
A nice little wrinkle. We saw that play a couple of times. Good touch on that. And Troy, a designed run there from the quarterback draw. A little more of that from him.
Yeah, we had a design run there. Got to the 4th and short. You know, made the not only the first down but the touchdown. Beanie Wells getting in the end zone, and good way to start on the road.
Yeah, on a 4th and 1 too. I mean, you just decide, hey, let's do it from the start.
Well, we could have got a first there.
Yes.
And but instead we just passed that up and got the touchdown, and came out, and Marcus Freeman came in there and started the beginnings of a tackle for loss with James Laurinaitis and Malcolm Jenkins, and they came out with a little option play, and they kind of dented us there for about 43 yards, of the longest play they had of the day, and you know, you knew it was going to be a battle.
Yeah, absolutely. On a 2nd and 13, rip off that 43-yarder there and out towards midfield, but the Buckeyes stand tall again. Antonio Smith in there, a tackle for a loss.
You know, our guys keep coming. They played relentless on defense, and that's why we ended up winning the game.
Well, that's what you need to do on the road, and again, this relentless D is going to put the ball on the turf. A lot of banging going on out there.
Well, good job. I think it was Lawrence Wilson might have caused that fumble. Curtis Terry came up with it and gave us great field position.
3rd and 6. Of course, you're going to go to Gonzo.
A good job coming up with the first down, and Gonzo did a good job finding a spot. And they played a little different concept, the secondary play. And here you see Troy finding the little fade route again. Brian Robisky getting the ball inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah, complete for 16 yards there. Takes it down inside the 10 to the 9, and Troy keeps it to the 1.
Troy does a great job on that option, and he hands it off to Antonio Pittman, who gets it the rest of the way. Good surge on the offensive line, and again, we're looking sharp at this point and moving the ball, and 14-0, and playing good defense. Continued to do that throughout the rest of the first half, put a little bit of pressure. The one thing about Juice Williams is the longer you give him back there, and if you allow him to get outside the pocket, he usually does a good job finding someone. Here we put the pressure on him, and you see Malcolm Jenkins coming up, and Malcolm can break on the football. Well,
that's a loss of 4 yards. You get that blitz right off the corner on his side. He knows he has to throw it hot. He does, and right there and back on offense for 12 yards, Chris Wells.
Chris ran the ball well, and you know, obviously later on has the fumble, but you know, he's going to be a good running back. Here you see a good-looking throw from Troy to Teddy Ginn, and another first down, and again, we're playing sharp, moving the ball, and here you see again on the draw play, and that hurt us. You know, we had a drive going, could have moved it down to be 21, and instead we give them a chance with decent field position. But again, our defense is playing. Vernon Golston, and I think that was Lawrence Wilson in there again, and here again putting pressure on the passer. See Curtis Terry and James Laurinaitis, and we were playing relentless defense.
Yeah, big pressure from on Juice right there by the Buckeye D, something you want to keep up for the entire day. And back on offense, Troy Smith here. He wants to pass this time, not going to find anything, going to tuck it and go for 16.
Troy did a great job when there was no one open and when the pass rush was running up the field, stepping up and going. Then Aaron Petrie nails the 51-yarder, and again, 17-0, playing fairly sharp on both sides.
Yeah, absolutely. 17-zip. That reflects the score against Minnesota as well. And of course, Minnesota, you go on and do great things in the second half. In that first half, when Beanie Wells puts that on the turf, what does that do to a young kid like that at this stage? He's done it a couple times now.
Yeah, and Beanie cares so much about how we do, and he wants to be a positive member of this team, and the way he practices is tremendous. The way he runs the ball, you saw the times he carried the ball. He works hard at it, and he was really disappointed with himself. He was distraught over not allowing us to progress and go down and get that third touchdown drive. But again, he's got to outlive that, and he's got to just keep working on holding that thing tight, and he's going to be a good back. We've just got to get that squared away.
A lot of the guys after the game were talking about how the offense, or actually for the defense, for Illinois, how uncanny it was that they were able to switch up some of the coverages like you were talking about and disguise them and play different coverages out of different looks.
And they did a good job. They have a different concept to start with, and then they changed that just a touch. But, quite honestly, had we gone with the same type of tempo in the second half as we did in the first, I think we'd have done a little bit better. We may have drawn it in a little bit too much after that first drive of the third quarter when we had a chance to go down and score, and then we didn't. As I look back and reflect a little bit, they did some different things, but maybe we didn't attack them quite as well as we should have.
Well, they were an attacking defense, no question about that. 17-0 at the half. We're back with second half highlights right after this.